What's up, guys? Sorry in advance, I'm not feeling the greatest right now. And I'm gonna try to get through this. So, today's Sunday, so this video is going up on the day that I'm filming it. It's also Father's Day, so happy Father's Day. For today's video, I decided, since it's Pride Month, I wanted to do a story time of how I guess, discovered that I was a part of the LGBTQ community, and my, oh, I've been craving cheese for days now. That felt really good. Anyways, I'm eating crackers and cheese, so don't mind me. So yeah, so I'm just gonna explain, like, my first experience in, like, questioning, I guess, and then, without giving away too much detail of the people who were involved in my journey, I guess, and how, it came to where I am now. See? Yay. Okay, I'm gonna try to, like, not go on and on and on, like, for too long. So if I stop to just eat, I'm, like, not even gonna film it. I'm just gonna, like, end it, and then... Oh my god, I don't have COVID. I don't have COVID, but I'm not feeling good at all. So anyways. In 2017. In 2017, I had just graduated grade 8. Actually, no, I'll tell you before that when it gets to that. So in 2018, I graduated grade 8. And the summer before I started high school, I was in a play. And I spent pretty much the entire summer, a couple times a week, rehearsing and meeting new people, and it was such a fun experience. It was, oh my gosh, something I'll never forget. So there was this person, and I don't want to go into, like, full detail about them because that's their story to share. But this person I met, and when I first met this person, you know when you see people and you automatically kind of, like, just assume, like, whether they're a boy or a girl, right? Because it's just not, I don't know, it's just, you just assume that until you, like, know for sure. So, me, being me, I just thought, like, oh, this is a girl. And I started, the more I hung out with this person, the more I started to, like, catch feelings, I guess. And I was, like, confused. I was like, do I just think, like, this person's, like, pretty, or do I, like, am I, like, inspired by how they are? I didn't know if I just, like, was like, wow, like, because this person was a couple years older than me, and I'm not sure if I just was, like, kind of like, oh, yeah, I want to be like you, or if it was like, oh, I want to be with you. Like, I didn't know exactly what it was. So, after a little while of getting to know this person, we had this, like, weird chemistry, I think. Not I think. It was, okay. So, we eventually had the same lines. In rehearsals always, like, when we actually would do the practice, it, like, switched up, and we had two separate, like, teachers. So, like, we had one teacher for, like, most of it, and then she had to leave, and then someone else came in, so everything kind of switched up in the end. So it wasn't like this in the end, but when we first started, we had the same lines for a specific thing, which everyone had the same lines in the end, but that doesn't matter. This is not what we're talking about. So we were doing a, like, sit down rehearsal where we went through our lines and stuff, and when we were saying our lines, we had, like, we were saying them at the exact same time, the exact same way, and we were, like, kind of staring at each other, and it was kind of like that weird like chemistry and that weird like, oh my gosh, like we are literally doing the exact same thing. And we both could tell because we were like looking at each other like, what is going on? It just keeps happening. Sorry, I had a really hard time there. Okay. Anyways, where was I? So, yes, I didn't know if I liked this person or not. Okay. So, the more I got to know this person, I eventually found out that this person, is gender fluid now and goes by he, him pronouns. So, that's about all I'm gonna say about that person, from like their, story. So, I was confused because this was like my first ever gay experience. And it was like really confusing for me because I was like, so what does that make me? Because I am starting to crush on this person who, goes by he, him, has like a gender fluid name with like the body of a girl. So I was kind of like, it was a lot. Okay. I was confused. Still to this day, love that person. He was amazing. We had a lot of good times together. I've not seen them in a long time, but and see how now, this is one thing I've noticed, like ever since being like more open, more myself, more just like embracing all of it, is that now sometimes I will call people they just out of like, I don't know, it just happens. I just will be like, well, they, like, whatever. Not like I'm saying that that's their pronoun, I sometimes refer to people as they now, which is interesting. But anyways, so then I realized that I did have a crush on this person because the more we hung out there, the more I just couldn't stop thinking about them. And there was this other person who was a lot younger than me who would hang out with the person that I liked. Because this is where it's going to get confusing. So, eventually, when everyone started coming together to do rehearsals and stuff, because at first it was just little groups, because there was a lot of people involved. It was a big play. It was like a 2-hour play, I'm pretty sure. So, once we started rehearsing and all like hanging out at the powwow grounds, which is where the play was, once we started all hanging out there, the person who like joined in the group, I guess, started hanging out with the person that I liked, and I used to get very jealous. Like, I would be so mad. I was like, oh, this person like is taking this person away from me. I was literally so jealous. And I tried to like be okay, but I just wasn't. I was like, I don't like this. Because just the way they were like acting towards each other, I was like, I don't like this. I was like, I really don't like this. I wanted to admit my feelings. I really did. But I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, I was so used to liking guys that when it came to this situation, I didn't know what to do with myself because it was very different. So I eventually just kind of let it go. After the play was done, I cried for hours. And I did cry because I was going to miss being a part of the play. I was going to miss being around all these amazing people. But, like, one of the main reasons why is because I thought I was never going to see them again. And I was like, so sad, so sad. I tried setting up plans and stuff, and it never worked out. And then I eventually seen them again, in like November, December-ish. I went to my friend at the time's, like this like Christmas thing with their family and stuff, and they were there, and I was like, so all of those feelings came back, obviously. And I was like trying to set something up, and it just like never worked out. So I was like, alright. Then I started working not working, I was volunteering for the museum, so this is the summer after. The people that put on the play, they were doing this whole other thing because these people were all from out of town, like all over the place, okay? So the main people who like put this on came to where I'm from and put on like this thing. So I volunteered, and I got to be with that person for a month, 4 weeks. It may have been a month. It may have been a little longer. I can't remember. Like 2 times a week. I think it was 2 times a week. And I was like, so now the feelings were kind of coming back again, even though I had gone through a couple of like different crushes, which all were like straight guys. Anyways, and whatever, that doesn't matter. So this person had a girlfriend, and I was so sad, because I was like, now's my opportunity. That other person's like not around, whatever anymore. I get to hang out with this person, and I was like so excited. And I found out they had a girlfriend, and I was devastated. I was so sad. So I was like, well, there goes that. But obviously I wasn't like, I didn't say anything. I never admitted my feelings, ever. So if you're watching this, I had a crush on you for the longest time. Okay. Anyways, so that kind of, yeah. The end of the summer came. I don't think I've seen them after that. I have them on social media, so I see them like on Snapchat, and I see them on Instagram and stuff, and they're not with the same person, they're with someone else, and like I'm so happy for them, and they're like living their best life. I'm living my best life. Like, I've been in a relationship for 3 years now, so like none of that matters anymore, but it was so devastating at the time. So anyways, that was like my first experience. I don't think there's anything else to say to that. Then if there's people that I grew up with watching this right now, they're gonna know exactly who I'm talking about, and I'm about to out myself. I'm about to spill the tea, and everybody's gonna know. I'm not saying names, but just everyone's gonna know. So that was the year after. So I had already been in high school for a year. We're gonna back it up a bit. When I started grade 9, so my first day of high school ever, first day of grade 9, I walked to school with someone from my class who lived down the street from me, and we were both so nervous for our first day, so we decided, let's just walk together. So it's not like, so at least we're like together, and I was like, yeah, cool. So we walked, and on the way there, she told me that there was this new girl who was going to be in our class, who had moved there, and she had already met her before, and she's like, yeah, she's really nice, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool, like, a new girl in the class, like, woo. So I was excited. I was hoping to make a new friend. So I got to school. And this was before COVID, because COVID happened when I was in grade 11. So they did the my high school has an auditorium, but for some reason they did like these get-togethers in the gym. So they took out the bleachers, which they should have just did. But anyway, it doesn't matter because I wouldn't have had this experience. So we get there. There's like all of the like older whatever. I knew everyone from that. I knew everyone because it's a small town. I know everyone already. So I'm like, all right, let's get this over and done with. See all these people I don't really want to be around. So I sat down on this bleacher. And all of a sudden, this is like from a movie. I look to my right. And this girl walks in. And I'm like, wow, she's beautiful. So the people in my class who were like sitting around me, they're like, oh yeah, that's the new girl, that's the new girl. And I'm like, oh, wow. So she walks up the bleachers and she sits right beside me. I look at her and we were like, hi. I swear, I feel like I'm blushing now, but I'm just like, this is crazy. So, I don't think I was blushing then, but I totally could have been. I was like, this girl is the most beautiful girl I've seen in my entire life. That was my mindset. So, like, if you're watching this and you remember the first day of high school and you were the new girl in my class and you sat beside me, I had the biggest crush on you. So, but at this time, I still thought I was a straight girl. I didn't know what was happening to me. I just was like, I like these people, but I'm a straight girl. And I was like, I gotta date guys, but I like this girl. Like, I really like this girl. But at the same time, same situation, I was like, do I like this girl? Or do I just think she's absolutely gorgeous? And I just want to be her friend, or I just didn't know. The day went on, and we went to our first class, and our first class was a math class. And this girl was crazy smart. Crazy smart. I'm not good at math. I have a math learning disability. Like, I'll never be good at math. Hate math. And this girl, first day of school, and she was up there, like, she stood up, she was doing all of these math equations that the teacher was talking about, and I'm like, she's good at math too? Like, I was, like, impressed. And I was like, damn. I was like, I want to be this girl's friend, at least. But we never hung out, and I wanted to so bad. I wanted to hang out with her so bad. I really wanted to be her friend, but she would hang out with other people, and I was like, okay, like, that's fine. Anyways, so for a couple months went by. Actually, more than a couple months. I think it was like February, March. We went on this. I hated things like this, but anyways, we went on this like women's trip thing with one of our teachers. We went out of town, and it was this whole like women's something, anyways. And we took my teacher's car there, so it wasn't like a bus or anything. It was just a bunch of us girls. It wasn't like that many of us. We could all fit in her van. And on the way back, this girl was making me like laugh cry. Like, she was so hilarious. And I was like, oh my god, like, this girl. And I was like absolutely obsessed with her. So obsessed with her. And I just like, oh my god, every day at school I just stare at her, and I'm like trying not to be a creep, but I'm like, I'm in love with this girl. But then she started like hanging out with like, I don't even really remember, but without like, because I know people are gonna see this. So without going into like, I don't want to go too into detail. Just saying like, this is how I felt about this person. But that person started, I'm so sorry. I'm just gonna say this real quick. But that person started dating this one guy who was a year older than us, and I absolutely despised this guy. I thought he was a real jerk. I did not like him at all. So I was like, I should have got her. But I'm pretty sure she's straight. I'm like, if you're watching, just like be like, yo, yeah, I'm straight. But anyways, I was like, I didn't care. I was like, I'm obsessed with this girl. So, I was like, I felt bad because I was like, this guy's a real jerk. And I didn't want her to get hurt. And then he turned up being a jerk, and I felt really bad. I felt like I just wanted to like comfort her and like be there for her, but there was all these other people in my class that were like more close to her, and I just was like, so yeah. A couple years went by, and like obviously like I went through like we're trying to get a boyfriend and all of that stuff, which is annoying and whatever. So obviously like Caleb and I started dating middle of like grade 10, so obviously like that's about it. Like it didn't really go any farther from that because I ended up with a boyfriend, and now nothing matters anymore. Like other people, it doesn't matter. So yeah, that lasted like probably a good year. And then I decided to move on because I was like, obviously this is never gonna work. So yeah, so those are my two like in person first gay experiences. Yeah. So now we're going into when COVID started. So there's no more people. The only other person I'm going to talk about is like Caleb and like celebrities or whatever. I used to tell people all the time like, oh, I'm in love with Beyonce, or I'm in love with like a girl celebrity, and people would be like, yeah, okay, like cool, but like without even realizing that I literally meant it, that I was like, no, like I like I love not just like, oh, I just like love them, you know. So when COVID started, I was in grade 10. It was 2020. It was April 2020 actually, so it wasn't far into it. It was like a month into it. I'm pretty sure it was either April 5th or 6th when I blossomed. I was sitting at my desk going through videos on my iPad, which I do like all the time. But actually, I was something to do with my YouTube videos. I was looking for something, and I found a Q&A. Now we're gonna go back to grade 8. I filmed a video. I filmed a Q&A video when I was in grade 8. And if you've been here that long, you've probably seen it, but I got a question, actually, from a friend at the time of Caleb's. And the question was, do you like boys, girls, or both? And in the video, I didn't answer. I just said, oh, it doesn't matter to me, like, whatever, like, you do you, all that stuff, and, like, I wasn't answering the question, and I found that very odd. I just, like, thought, and then all of a sudden, I'm just like, am I gay? Boom, like that. April 2020, I was like, I think I'm gay. So, it was so random, it was so quick, I'm like, I didn't answer this question. I did not say, oh yeah, no, I just like boys. But I didn't say, oh no, like I'm completely straight. I feel like a straight person would be like, no, like I just like guys, like that's it. But I was just like, oh, I don't care. It doesn't matter. And to me, I was like, that's odd. So I was like, I think I'm gay. So, but at the time, my knowledge of that, like now I say that all the time, like, oh yeah, I'm super gay and stuff like that. But at the time, I didn't like how people were just like, yo, I'm gay. It's like, no, I thought is like, if you are a guy, you are gay. If you are a girl, you are lesbian. Not if you like, if you're a guy likes a guy, you're gay. If you're a girl that likes a girl, you're a lesbian. If you are a guy or a girl that likes both, then you're bisexual, right? That was like pretty much most of my knowledge. I didn't really know much other than like gender fluid and like stuff like that, but like that's just like what I knew, right? So I was like, I think I'm bisexual because I like both. I've liked guys and I've liked girls. Not realizing that my first experience is literally a pan experience, but anyways, I didn't know about that. I didn't know that existed. So I was like, okay. So I texted Caleb. I actually sent a video to Caleb of what I said, and I was like, I think I'm bisexual. And he's like, oh, really? And I just like, he's the first person I told. And yeah, and I was just like, boom, agreed. Then I texted my best friend, and I was like, I just came out to Caleb as bisexual. And she's like, hold up, what? And I was like, oh my god, I just came out to her too. So those were the first two people that I came out to. And then I kind of kept it to myself for a while after. It was COVID, so I wasn't at school. I wasn't able to really like talk to anybody. So I just kind of kept it to myself for a long time until I slowly started like telling people and being like, yeah, like I'm bisexual, and then I explained, I was like, oh, I like boys and I like girls, like, and that just became my life. So I was like, damn, I'm a part of the LGBTQ community now, I guess. So yeah, then I literally started telling people that I was bi. And that lasted 2 years. It took me until college to realize that I'm actually not bisexual. I am pansexual, which makes like 1,000 times more sense to me. So pansexual is when you like somebody for their personality and not their gender. And that's exactly what I liked about these people. I didn't care that, you know, they were like a girl or that they identified as a guy. I didn't like, or that were gender fluid. Like I didn't care about any of that. I just fell in love with these people's personality. Well, I don't know if you'd say fall in love, but I just like caught feelings from their personalities, which makes so much more sense now. Which is like everyone. I pretty much, most people it was their personality. Some people it was for looks, but it was just because I was like, I don't know. I just wanted to make friends, and I just wanted something, I guess, which was like most people. It sounds bad, but it's true. So yeah, I was questioning it because when I started college, a lot of people in my class were pansexual. And I was like, and they'd explain, and I did some research, in pansexual, like I said already, is when you like someone for their personality, but it's also like, you would be fine with like dating somebody who's transgender, or someone who's gender fluid, or someone who's like literally not any single person, but any person on the planet. It doesn't matter what their pronouns are, what their sexuality is, what their gender is. Well, it kind of does matter. Actually, it doesn't. It doesn't. Well, obviously, if it's a straight girl, they're not gonna date me. But anyways, just like, it doesn't matter their pronouns, their gender, you know what I mean. You get it. It doesn't matter. It's not what's between the legs that matters. It's what's in the heart and in the brain, as a personality-wise, not smartness. Well, it depends on that. Anyways, so I was like, that sounds more like me, because it's not the fact that like I would date like just a guy or girl, like, and I tell people all the time, I was like, if Caleb was like, you know what, I think I'm actually a girl, I'd be like, okay, then you're my girlfriend. Like, and it's like it doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. Like, so I was like, that sounds like it makes more sense. So then I discovered that, and I was like, started telling people, I'm like, you know what, I actually identify as pansexual and not bisexual anymore. And yeah, and now that's just kind of how it is. I now identify as pansexual, and every day I discover something, or like, just, you know, about who I am as a person and how it's nothing to be ashamed of, because it doesn't affect anybody's life at all. It's my life, and that's just how it is. People were made to be who they are, and I don't think that nothing is ever the way you are born. Not when it comes to how you like were raised and stuff, but the way you were born. I find that's just how you were born. That's just how you were made. So I find that any person who is a part of the LGBTQ community, we were all created to be that way. We were all created to love people for either their personality or just love them, because we're all different and none of us are supposed to be the same. None of us look the same. We're not all supposed to have the same race. We're not supposed to all be the exact same, because if we were supposed to be the exact same, we would have been made that way, and we weren't. So that's why there's absolutely nothing wrong, and no one will ever change my mind. There is nothing wrong with being who you truly are. And I wish more people would understand that, but some people just don't want to be educated, and you know what? That's on them, because they're missing out. But yeah, so I think that's the end of my story. That's my journey. And Billie Eilish is my wife. And that's just how it is. If you couldn't tell what I just said, I just made up stuff with my hand. But I said I hope you guys like this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Oh, I didn't actually put subscribe. I should have did that. And watch last week's video, because I'm so happy that I could do this now. Yeah, and that's it. So yeah, that's it. Okay. Bye, girls, gays, and nays. Peace out. I can't get much higher.